right, we are live. Happy morning. Welcome to the Book Deep with You session, the best book recommend to you from us. So right now, today, Gideon, we're going to share his two books to you, which is, yes, you see the one
Right,
book.
we are live.
Okay, I need to
Happy morning.
go to my
Welcome to the Book Deep with You.
Okay, got it. This is the book. Okay, Gideon show another time. Okay, I know why the cage bird sings from his left, right? And from his left is the rainbow in the cloud. These two books is from Maya Angelou. So let me, and if you know Maya Angelou, you know how famous and how great she is. And I would love to share with you is Maya Angelou. She was an American poet. She is a memoirist and she is a very important figure in the American civil rights movement. In 2001, she was named one of the 30 most powerful women in America by Ladies' Home Journal. All right. And she wrote 7 autobiographies. And start from this book, which is I Know Why Cage Bird Sings. This is her first book that is autobiography, right? She
Yeah.
wrote about her life from age 3 to age 16. So she recounting a lot of things about her unsettled and also her traumatic childhood event. So I'll pass to Gideon to share with you these two very, very great and powerful books.
Yeah, I want to tell Joyce something about this. The author Maya Angelou. She's born on 4th of April tomorrow. So when we make this recording, this is 3rd of April. So she's born on the 4th
Oh,
of April,
hi.
93 years ago,
Oh,
1928. I mean, she's already passed away a few years ago. So actually, kind of memory her. Also, we would like to talk about her book.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, this is something I don't know. Okay. That's why you keep telling me. I will tell you why we should do it. And why don't you suggest to me
No, it's
we
okay.
do it on tomorrow? It's like fun. Yeah, tomorrow I have a
Yeah,
workshop.
you have some workshop.
Meeting.
So a few things about Maya also. She worked with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, both of them, which is a great black activist. If we read about black people history, I mean, both of them has been assassinated. So you know how difficult it is to fight for the minority. I mean, not talking about black only. As long as you fight for the minority race, you are having a tremendous mountain to climb. So this book, I know why the cage bird sings is her first autobiography. Total, she wrote, I think, another 6 autobiography. So this book is written in 1969. So this is the first book, and this book is not an easy read. Okay, I must tell you, this is not easy read. So this book illustrate how her strength, her character, her love for literature can help her to overcome all the racism and trauma at that time, which is like 1930s. And it's talking about her and herself and her brother Bailey spend how their early life in the south of Americas, in Arkansas, with their grandmothers. She lived with her grandmothers.
Mm,
So in later part, she moved to live with her mothers,
mm,
which has been separated from her fathers.
mm,
So at the age of 8, Maya was raped by her mother's boyfriend.
mm,
And for the next 5 years, she became mute. She refused to talk.
mm,
So when Maya changed, moved to stay with her father, after
mm,
that, his girlfriend don't like her again and hit her. So she ran out from the house and become homeless. So
mm,
living in the junkyard for a few years. So at the age of 16, she gave birth to her first son, named Guy Johnson. So this book, I would say, abruptly end at this point, because she got following books on her later part of life. But this book just ended at age 16 when she gave birth to her son, Guy
Mm.
Johnson. I want to mention Guy Johnson later part because it's related to the second book. So there is a firm adaptation of this book in 1979. So you can actually watch it in YouTube. If you can just search in YouTube, you can watch the movie if you don't like to read the book. Okay. So another thing why I say this book is rather difficult to read is talking a lot of things about racism. One
Mm.
of the scene that is um, keep in my mind for quite long is I'll just give you a scenery inside the book. So there is a time when Maya want to see a dentist, and her grandmother actually bring her to the dentist, and the dentist tell her, I would rather stick my hand in a dog's mouth than into the girl's black mouth. So you see, at that time, even the dentist, the white dentist, don't want to do perform the service to a black person.
Mm.
So they are so upset about this. But I think her grandmother stood up, fight for it, and the dentist got the lesson. Yeah. So there's a lot of scenery inside this book about this, about how black people are being treated. So I think for some years, this book has been banned in US. Um, but anyway, this is really a great book. So when Maya Angelou was died at the age of 86, 2014, um,
Mm.
a lot of people mourn about her death. So inspired by this woman, um, we have the last book, but this is not a book that by her. This is Rainbow in the Cloud was a collection of Maya Angelou's wonderful quotes. It's compiled by her son, Guy Johnson. So
Mm.
if you rather want to read quotes, then you should pick up these books. So I should one thing why it is called Rainbow in the Cloud is there's a there's a quote like this: when it looked like the sun wouldn't shine anymore, God put a rainbow in the clouds. Okay.
Mm.
So I will now pick a few a quote, a memorable quote from these books. Some of the books
Yes,
that
go
impact
ahead.
my so
Yeah.
much. So there's one quote about our race differences. You know,
Mhm.
okay, I quote. So our young must be taught that racial peculiarities do exist, but that beneath the skin, beyond the differing features, and into the true heart of beings, fundamentally we are more alike, my friend, than we are unalike. So this is talking about, beneath our skin, we actually, we are all brothers and sisters. We are
Yes.
more alike. So this is about about race, different races. Okay. Um, Another thing is about changing life, because a lot her story is about how you can take leads to change your life. So in order to avoid this bitter end, we would all have to be born with the knowledge of alternatives. So one of the way, for minorities is to know that they should have alternative ways. Okay. And another thing is about having a dream. So as I told you all, Maya worked with Martin Luther King
Yeah.
before, and he's famous with "I Have a Dream," right? So in one of the book also, Maya wrote about having a dream. So I, with millions of other Americans, have the same dream Martin Luther Jr. have. When I wake up, I wish some of the things I dream would be true. I wish that little black and white boys and girls would hold hands without being shocked at their nearness to each other's and say in a natural way, we have overcome. So yeah, I think her whole life had been trying to fight for the minority, for the black. Yeah. Um, and there's another section about prejudice. I think it's very beautifully written. Prejudice is a burden which confuses the past threatens the future and renders the present inaccessible. So if you have bias to something, it will actually confuse you about your past history. It will make you confused or threaten your futures. You dare not go to your futures, and also make your present moments like you are fear of your present times. Yeah.
Beautiful quote from her. I personally love one quote from her. Maybe I'm not sure whether I shared with you before, Gideon. Is this one I actually wrote down when I read her quotes. If one has courage, nothing can dim the light which shines from within.
Wow.
Like
I know
nothing
courage is
can
your
stop.
value.
Yeah, so it's like I was like, well, she has such a courage that bring her gift to the world, and she used her words to let people know, and her words travel as well. Even after she passed away, her book still we still read. This is one of her legacy that her words is really inspiring and very transformative, and definitely also a very healing to us. For me, I don't know about you. Whenever I read any quotes, I haven't read up these two books yet. But one thing is, I know so much about her through a lot of quotes. When we share about the quotes, and so many of the quotes that as I read, I can see that she really transforming lives.
Yeah, I think
She helped.
yeah. So I think she inspired the whole generation of
Yes,
especially black generation in
yes.
the Americas how to stand for their right. Another quote about I like a lot is about fortitude, the determination.
Mm,
So unfortunately, fortitude was not like the color of my skin, given to me once and mine forever. It needed to be reiterated each morning and exercised painstakingly, and it also has to be fed with at least a few triumphs. So it's like your determination is not the color of the skin is born. So to them is you have to do this every day to make it as your muscle. Yeah.
so good. Lovely.
Another funny one I want to give is about giving something. I think a lot of people try to say this in a different way, but this is a funny way how she said it. Always be concerned when a naked man offers you his shirt. A person can't love you if he or she can't love him or herself. I think a lot of people quote the last part, right? So if you cannot give what you don't have, right? So this is a funny way to say that if a naked person try to give you a shirt, you must be think twice. Oh, yeah,
I always say that.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, I always say you can't give what you don't have. Just as simple as if you don't have the knowledge, you cannot share with other people. You don't have the skill set, you cannot help other people. It's just as simple as if you don't have the love, the self-love, you cannot love other people.
Yeah, I think it's very important to remember that because a lot of people they in a relationship they don't love themselves, but they expect someone to love them, or they ask for love, or they try to love someone, but they don't have the self love. Is the relationship wouldn't be healthy. I would say, yeah. Just remember that. So I always
Hmm.
remember now a naked person. So
Quote from her book. Okay.
so the last quote I want to share today is about love, about different kind of love. I think it share this very well. So I quote the book. I am grateful that love exists. Familiar love, love between relative, romantic love, a passion between lovers, a gap love, which is the divine love between God and friends, love of nature, the majestic of mountains, the lasting love of ocean, forest, and the joy of laughter. We are stronger kinder and more generous because we live in an atmosphere where love exists. Okay.
Wow.
So we must, protect this and try to appreciate that there are different kind of love in this world. So yeah, I think love is what makes us, sustain and standing here, and keep every day alive. Yeah.
A love and a connection with those around us, like Maya Angelou, she wrote in her book so many types of different love, right? So this is the connection that we have together with those around us that is so, so, so important. I love to talk about relationship. So this is another topic next time. Is a relationship, our self relationship, I mean the relationship with ourselves, with other people, with our family, with our spouse, our significant others, with our friends, colleagues. So this is all we can talk about.
Yeah, so I've been exposed to Maya because of Oprah Winfrey. I mean, she's the mentor of her, and I think I will spend my whole life to read all Maya's autobiographies. She has another six, right? So another one here already. I'm waiting to read. So I will take my whole life to collect all the books and then read them. It's very revealing, every book. Yeah. Although the book is written quite some time, so that's why the grammar, the way of the writing is a bit different because of time. But it's still giving a lot of meanings to us.
Yeah, definitely lovely.
That's all
So
we have.
yeah, so go and get a book.
Yep.
So to read up, especially her autobiography will really stun you with so many trauma that she met. That really what makes her so strong and she has the gift to share with other people is her past experience that does not kill her, really. She stand up stronger every single time and she made it through. And even I don't finish the whole book yet, but I one thing is I know that it's not going to be easy to go through the trauma as a child. Yeah. So Gideon, any summary things you want to share with us before we end the session?
I would say that this is not only about Black people. So as long as is you feel that you will be minority in any point of time. So as long like if you go to another country, you will be minority. So this is very relevant about racism, whether you like it or not, is happening, is happen. And you can see that many situations now happening is because of racism. So we should read this book and get some lessons so that we all get together and become brothers and sisters. Okay, that's all I want to share. Yeah.
Thank you, Gideon, for sharing these two wonderful book, lovely book. And those who want to read the books, go ahead and got it and buy it, definitely. Okay, we'll see you all next week. No, next 2 weeks. We're going to share another wonderful book that I'll